Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you've been with us before, welcome to the channel if this is your first time. This is Leanne Presents. I am your host, Alan. This is the other, I guess you could call her a host, Leanne. And this is part 2 of our WrestleMania predictions for 2023, or WrestleMania 39 if you want to be pedantic.
Maybe I should just go.
So this is part 2, so if you haven't seen part 1, I would urge you to go back and see that. As we mentioned in part 1, if you've already seen that, we can't do WrestleMania 39 Night 1, WrestleMania 39 Night 2, because they haven't given us all the night splits yet. We don't know what matches are happening on what night, so that makes things very difficult for people like us who don't want to go overly long in videos and have like a 3-hour prediction video, because WWE can't be bothered to say, hey, this is happening on night 1 or this is happening on night 2. Thanks, WWE.
Get it
really
together,
appreciate it.
WWE. Get it together.
So what we've done is we've done the non-title matches in part 1, and this part will be all about just the title matches. So if you're looking for a non-title match and you haven't seen part 1, go back and see that one first and find the match you're looking for, and then come back and see us on this one and make sure you get some of those few numbers that we really like so much.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're going to just jump straight into it because we already prefaced most of the stuff of the general show in part 1.
Yep.
So first match we're going to talk about is going to be Drew McIntyre versus the Intercontinental Champion Gunther, and they'll be facing Sheamus in a triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. So this kind of stems a little back from, like we talked about with Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio on the part that I uploaded yesterday.
Yes.
This kind of harkens back a little bit to Clash of the Castle when Sheamus fought Gunther for the IC title. IC
Yes.
being Intercontinental for those who don't know the lingo. I got you back. And that was a complete, absolute banger of a match. And that was like one of the best matches of the year. It was phenomenal. And Sheamus had a couple more tries and he kept getting screwed over by Imperium and all such. So then Drew comes out and he tries to help him, and they've been teaming together with Brawling Brutes. And then Sheamus is like, right, well, I want to face Gunther at Mania for another shot at the IC title because it's the only title he's never won in WWE. And Drew's like, well, you've had enough shots now, isn't it time for someone else? So then it's like a 5-person match was made, a fatal 5-way. I can't remember who the other 5... One was LA Knight. It was Drew, Sheamus, LA Knight, and I can't remember who the other 2 were. But the one thing when we were watching that match on SmackDown, I said, why is there 2 referees?
Yes.
I said, there's going to be some shenanigans here, because there's never 2 referees. And then even the commentators like, oh, we've got to have 2 referees because these matches are so fast-paced, blah, 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 blah. And it's like,
They're not
you've never had 2 referees like that for a fatal 5-way. Like, you have them for Royal Rumble.
Yeah, because you've got to be watching the outside to see your feet.
Or a Battle Royale. You usually got at least one referee on each corner of the other side of the ring. So Sheamus and Drew hit their respective finishes on 2 individuals. They pin them, and the other ref slides in the ring, and both referees count 3 at the same time.
Stupid.
So then Sheamus and Drew were like...
And the rest of us were like...
Yeah. And then good old Adam Pearce, in his infinite wisdom, is like, that's simple. You guys will fight each other next week on SmackDown, and the winner will go to WrestleMania. Okay? Okay, I don't really want to see Sheamus for like the 50 millionth time, but okay, whatever. So they're having the match. Out comes Imperium. They get involved. They just start beating people up, and then Adam Pearce appears on the screen. Yeah, it's not going to go down like that. We're going to have a triple threat match instead. It's going to be Gunther versus Drew versus Sheamus for the Intercontinental title, and Gunther's like, I don't want this match, blah, blah, blah.
Shouldn't have interfered.
I know, right? So it's. I think this could be an interesting match.
Yeah.
Especially given the track record of Sheamus and Gunther. Drew McIntyre isn't a slouch by any stretch of the word.
No.
But I don't know if I want to see Drew keep getting put into title matches.
Yeah. He's been in that top spot for a while. Not the top spot, obviously, but a high spot. And I guess they're trying to squeeze every little bit of stardom out of him that they can before inevitably sending him back to catering for a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing about this match is that it is a triple threat. Yeah. So there will be no disqualification. If Drew hits Sheamus with a chair, for example, who wins?
No.
If Imperium get involved, who wins? So Imperium will get involved, the Brawling Brutes will get involved, and then Drew's just a one man on his own little island out there.
Yeah, it could be interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It feels like it's not being thought through fully. I don't know. Things are sort of being pulled out of the air, left, right, and centre to make this happen.
Yeah, it does seem a bit forced, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who have you got? Who's walking up with the gold?
Oh, it's actually quite tricky. Gunther.
Gunther?
Yeah.
Who am I going for?
Sheamus.
Gunther.
Ah.
I don't think they're ready to take that title off him yet. They keep alluding to he's been the longest reigning Intercontinental Championship of this millennium, blah, 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 and they keep really harkening on that quite a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're ready to have him drop that title.
They do like a record in WWE.
I can't remember. I think it's Honky Tonk Man might be the longest running IC champion, but I don't remember how long that reign was. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I'll probably look this up afterwards anyway, because it's going to just bug me. But yeah, let us know in the comments below if I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure it's Honky Tonk Man is the longest IC champion. Yeah, so there's that one. I mean, yeah, I think Gunther's going to win it. I don't know. Imperium will probably somehow just get the upper hand. And yeah. It's what it is.
It'll happen. Something will happen. Drew will turn on Sheamus or something.
Oh yeah, this is leading to a feud again. Yawn.
Same old.
Okay, next match then. We've got, for the Raw Women's Championship, we've got Bianca Belair versus the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka.
Yes. Oh, wouldn't it be great though? Wouldn't it be great?
Can you tell me why Asuka's the number one contender?
Because she's awesome.
Is that? Yeah.
I can't remember. I'm
she
sorry.
won the
My
Women's
memory's
Elimination
really
Chamber
bad.
match.
Of course she did.
She won the Elimination Chamber match last month, and that was, it is last month still. I was just recording this. I got really tripped out there. And that was for the number one contendership for the Raw Women's Championship. There's been a lot of Asuka coming down to save her from beatdowns from other people. Like Chelsea Green, I think it was Carmella was kind of looked like they were going to tag up at one point. We've covered Chelsea Green very briefly on the last episode and the predictions, but we're not going to go there again. And sort of just spraying that blue mist everywhere. And then there was a point where she was teasing that she could have got Bianca with it, and it just starts dribbling out of her mouth, and Asuka starts laughing and dancing around with the belt, and it's like, this is wild. I'm not sure what's going on, but...
She's crazy.
Okay.
I love it.
I reckon there's going to be some sort of special entrance for Asuka.
Yes.
It's got to be. And there'll probably be some, like, I remember last year Bianca Belair's one with that, like, orchestra thing. That was just awful. That was awful. But yeah, I think, before we go any further than that, who have you got winning?
Bianca Belair.
Bianca?
I really want Asuka to win, but I feel like it's not going to
happen. Are you sure that's your prediction?
I don't know. I just feel like I'm just going to be disappointed if I say Asuka and then it's not going to happen. So I really want Asuka to win. I think it'd be really cool. And she is like building up and she's got this slightly new personality. Can I say Asuka?
What's your prediction, Leanne?
I really don't know.
I need you to give a prediction.
I'm going to say
Our
Asuka.
viewers
I'll say Asuka.
need you to give a prediction. Asuka.
And then you're going to say Bianca Belair and just show me up now.
Oh, am I? Because I'm going Asuka. I think it's time. I really think that the office is seeing how stale Bianca Belair's getting.
It's been time for a while. That's why
She's held that title for a year. That's more than enough. She never needs that title ever again. Just strip it off her, give it to Asuka, and don't ever give it back to her.
At least until she gets some changes to her character.
By some, you mean a complete overhaul.
Yeah, that one. Just a little bit.
They brought Asuka back for a reason. Obviously, she returned at Rumble. She didn't win the Rumble. She put up in the Elimination Chamber. She kicked major ass in the Elimination Chamber. There's no way I think that she's going to lose this match, because that would be counterproductive to everything that they've been doing with Asuka since she returned.
Yeah.
And if they're doing that, then Triple H, what the hell are you thinking, you moron?
Cool.
I said it. Yeah. Bianca Belair, as we've said in previous videos, is stale, old, boring. She's the stalest, the boringest, the yawningest, the lamest.
Okay, that one's a real word.
I'm just doing what she does. I'm putting EST on the end of everything, because that's all she does.
So she uses a real word.
That's her shtick. That and long hair, which isn't even real. Yeah. Yawn.
Nothing's real. What's next?
Yawn. Okay. Next up, for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships, we have the Usos versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. So that's KO Mania and WrestleZania.
So good.
I wonder if Kevin Owens is the one that come up with that.
Probably.
It wouldn't surprise me. It fits so well.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, so we're not going to cover this fully because there's quite a long feud that's been going through, especially with Kevin and Sami, who's been going back for years and years and years. Long story short, kayfabe, they are, outside of kayfabe, they are the legit best friends. In the storyline of things, they've kind of had this massive falling out. Zayn sided with the Bloodline. He joined the Bloodline. He then turned on the Bloodline because he didn't want to beat the hell out of Kevin Owens. He slammed Roman Reigns, and then they kind of had this thing. And that took us to Elimination Chamber, where Jey Uso was like, "Yeah, I don't wanna hit him," and he kind of walked out. And Roman's like, "What the hell's going on?" And that's kind of where we last left it in our last reaction video.
Yeah.
So since then, we've had Jey Uso has returned. He looked like he was going to side with Sami Zayn. This was probably about 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago.
Something like that.
And then he kind of super kicked him, checked him in the ring. Jimmy and Jay beat down on him. Solo come out, beat down on him. And that was the reunion of the Bloodline. Cody Rhodes kind of got his fingers in this little pie as well then.
Yeah.
He's saying, like, Kevin, you need to team up with Sami Zayn. We should take down the Bloodline together, all three of us. And he's like, well, I've heard everything Sami has to say, and if you're done, I'm leaving. And he did, and he walked out. And then they had this sort of interview segment with Sami and Jay, and Jay, he's like, Jay, why do you do this? Why do you betray me? We could have taken down the Bloodline. We could have stopped this whole thing together, blah, blah, blah. Jay's like, blood's thicker than water. Blood's family. And then they beat him down. And then out of the crowd comes Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens comes back. And he clears out the ring, and Sami Zayn and him start beating people up. And then they hug, and everyone's like, oh, they're losing their minds.
Everyone loves a hug.
Hug it out.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, and then on Raw last night, they come out. Oh, no, was it SmackDown?
Oh, I can't remember.
It was on SmackDown.
Yes.
They came out, and they were like, yes, we're going to do it. We're going to fight for the titles, blah, blah, blah. And then Raw last night. No, it was SmackDown. They showed the shirt. And he's like, right, okay, well, use the shirts, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, it was a fun time I had with all.
Yeah.
It's nice. And it's almost like, are blood relatives better than the friends that you choose to be family? It's like friends are the family you choose, as opposed to the family you're forced into. Is blood thicker than water? Or is, in this case, water thicker than blood?
The analogy's a bit weird in general, blood thicker than water, isn't it? What's water got to do with anything?
I don't think is blood thicker than milk works the same.
Milk's got nothing to do with friendship either.
It's a viscous liquid. That's why.
Idioms.
You're an idiom.
Yeah, but good, they're friends again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got KO Mania running wild at WrestleMania, and we got we've got KO Mania running wild at WrestleZania.
We've also got there's still some sort of tension happening in Bloodline. There's some seeds being sown over there. I think by Cody, wasn't it?
Yeah. Cody's been really spreading them seeds out.
So who knows? The Bloodline aren't quite as thick as blood.
They're not as such a cohesive unit at the moment, is what you mean.
That one.
Dear God. Anything else you want to add to this?
It's going to be good. I'm quite looking forward to this one.
And you got like 4 phenomenal talents, let's be honest.
Definitely. They're all great. Maybe having Solo Sikoa getting involved.
Yeah, I can see that.
Unless we're saving him for later. Or he could get involved in both, who knows?
They might do.
Might do.
I get the feeling that the tag title match might happen on the Saturday. And then that'll unsettle Roman heading into Sunday against Cody.
Yes.
So that'll cause a bit more of a split in the bloodline.
Yeah.
I think.
Quite possibly. Yeah. Okay then. I think KO and Sami gonna get it.
Yeah.
I think this is the time. Yeah. This is the one. If it's gonna happen, it's now. WrestleMania.
WrestleZania. Okay, we'll go KO Mania. I do prefer Kevin Owens over Sami Zayn.
KO-Zania.
I do prefer Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
I've always been a Kevin Owens fan.
Yeah, he's really, really good. Sammy's had his ups and downs character-wise.
Yeah, I still want to see the documentary, Sami.
Oh!
Where's the documentary,
I
mate?
need it. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
It's gonna be good.
Ridiculous.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So next match on the card is for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And that is Charlotte Flair defending against Judgment Day's Rhea Ripley. Oh. So Rhea Ripley is in this match because?
Because she won the Royal Rumble.
Correct. Charlotte Matt Flair's in this match because?
Because she's a champ.
Just making sure you're still awake.
And she's Charlotte Flair.
And still making sure you're awake is all, okay?
She's another record holder, I think.
At
least
God,
she's had it for a long time.
12 times or something like that.
Yeah. Or was it 14?
Is it 14?
I think they said 14.
Stupid.
WWE loves records.
She's been in there for like 6 years and she's held that belt 14 times, like a championship. Come on, seriously? Seriously? Do they understand how much they're devaluing A, the titles, and B, Ric Flair's legacy? Mm-hmm. Like, he had like a 40-year career and he's a 16-time champion.
Yeah, and that was super impressive.
Yeah.
And now it's just...
And now Charlotte Flair's 6 years, 14 times? Oh yeah, great, awesome.
Because it just flip-flopped the belt.
Yeah, it's
Why?
crap.
Anyway, this is going to be good, I think.
The one thing I've found with this has not been much of a build-up.
No, there is not.
I think they've bumped into each other twice.
Yeah, there's been a couple promos.
What was it with the one with Dominic coming out instead of Rhea? And he's like, Mommy treats me, so I'm like her Latino boyfriend or something like that. And then Charlotte's just like, I've got a real Latino man waiting for me at home, and he's got a much thicker accent than you. And it's like, oh my God, did they just do that? To those who don't know, Andrade El Idolo, or what was his name in WWE? What was his name? Andrade. I can't remember what his name was in WWE now. Andrade is married to Charlotte Flair. Just for those who don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna bug me so bad. And it was a while ago he left the company, so I don't even know if it's gonna be in here. Oh, damn it! I've got to try and just have a quick.
You gonna have it?
No. He left a while ago, so no. Yeah, Andrade. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, and then there was another altercation, and they had a bit of a brawl, and it's like everyone's like, "Oh my God, this is the worst brawl I've ever seen in the history of this business." And it's like, really, Grace, really? Come on, mate, seriously.
You haven't seen nothing.
Seriously, the Ronda Rousey Charlotte Flair brawl was much better. Like, I think it was Charlotte booted through a window of a car. Ronda punched a window of a car through. She got like, come on, seriously. Get a grip, Corey Graves. You need to calm it down about, mate. But I think the thing is, you have a commentator, Kevin Patrick's just rubbish.
But it's fun listening to Kevin Patrick's accent, though. So
especially from all the T's. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much all I've got for this, because there's not been much of a build-up.
Ripley's been saying things about legacy versus destiny. She very much believes that she's destined to have the title and all this stuff. It's pretty cool. Rhea Ripley's another one of those talents that I could watch any day of the week.
You just want to see her pinning women the way she does. Yeah, and obviously the last time they fought WrestleMania was during the pandemic, I believe it was, in the pandemic era in the Thunderdome, and Charlotte Flair beat Rhea Ripley. It was like 3 years ago, something like that. And obviously Rhea Ripley's out to sort of rectify that loss in the history books. Yeah. And obviously win the title. Yeah. So, yeah, who you got?
Okay. It's another kind of tricky one. I can't see Flair losing unless there is interference. But it's Judgment Day, so there's probably going to be interference. And that belt would look pretty good on Ripley. It would look really good. I'm going to go Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley?
Yes! I'm doing it.
Who am I going?
Rhea Ripley.
Damn straight.
Break that streak.
I think that the only reason that the belt was dropped to Flair on the very last SmackDown of 2022 was to say that every year she's been in WWE, she's held the title. And Ronda Rousey's reign was getting very stale and the fans were getting extremely bored of it.
Yeah. And you had to have someone big.
And to have Charlotte Flair come back, that was like, oh God, like she was gone for the better part of 9 months or whatever it was. And everyone's like, oh my God, Charlotte Flair's back.
Mm-hmm.
I will say one thing. Her new music is ass.
Yeah.
All hail the Queen. Ugh, really? How pretentious.
She is though, isn't she?
Well, yeah, but yeah, you know what I mean. But yeah, I don't think there'll be interference. I think Rhea Ripley's going to decimate her.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Like, it'll be a good back and forth.
Okay.
But when it comes to it, there will be a definitive winner, and it's going to be Rhea Ripley is going to hand her ass to Charlotte Flair. As in, Charlotte Flair's ass to Charlotte Flair, not Rhea Ripley's going to pull her own ass. And that'd be weird.
I was going to say something about plastic surgery. I won't.
Ouch! Shade thrown. Only Alan presents, ladies and gentlemen.
She looks different every time she's held the title. She's had a different face.
This is true. This is true. Yeah, this is true.
Anyway.
Remember the time she had the mole removed, and I was like, "There's something different. Where's the mole? Where'd the mole go?"
It's amazing how much difference something so small can make.
Well, I wouldn't call it small.
Anyway, we should move on.
Next match is going to be the opening match of WrestleMania Saturday. We've already discerned that. Austin Theory defending his United States Championship against John Cena. Apparently John Cena asked to be the opening match of WrestleMania Saturday. Aww. He wants to open WrestleMania.
That's cool.
It's probably because there'll probably be a massive cock-up like there was, I think it was last year, and none of the fans were in the building properly. So, as they're going on, John Cena's wish of, you can't see me, nobody will, because there will be nobody in the building.
Hey, when no one was in the building, there wasn't a cock-up. That was the tornado, wasn't it? Wasn't it the storms? And they had to clear everyone out.
Oh, maybe? And I seem to remember there was one year where the security were being too tough.
Oh.
And they were just making these queues go extra long and not letting people in without properly... Obviously, security first. We get that.
Yeah.
But if the doors open an hour before, there should be ample time. But they were just really slow-assing it, apparently. I think it was last year.
Maybe that was... No, it was the one with the pirate ship where it was stormy.
I think it was 2 years ago, that one, I think.
So the first one after pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
I think it was, yeah. I can't remember what last year's theme was. What was last year's WrestleMania theme? See if I can find out by the matches, shall we? McAfee theme. Yeah, no, he was in Texas last year.
Oh,
because Stone Cold Steve Austin was there.
Right.
Yeah, so it was 2 years ago.
They didn't have tornadoes.
no, it was that, yeah, 2 years ago. So I remember watching it live, after sort of the next morning, and we were like, oh my God, this is wild. But now you go back and watch it on the network, all of that is cut out.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, why?
It's part of history.
They had interviews and everything to try and make up the time, and that was great. I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah, they did a good job. Anyway.
Yeah, so
opening.
Austin Theory versus John Cena. John Cena turns up at Raw like 3-4 weeks ago, wherever it was. Out comes Austin Theory before he can even say anything, and he's like, I want you at WrestleMania. And John Cena's like, you don't want that, because if you lose everything. And if you win, you lose everything still, because you're facing me. I don't get the logic in that.
I kind of see it. If he beats John Cena, everyone's going to hate him more. But like not in a heel way, in a this guy sucks way.
No, because John Cena can't wrestle.
Yeah, but he's got a huge fan base.
Come at me, Cena Asian.
You get like the majority are like, oh, it's John Cena, and they're like, well,
the kids are, yeah.
I can't. It's not believable that Theory beat him, so we don't believe it, and that throws everything out the window. If Theory loses, he's like, haha, you got beat by a guy who doesn't wrestle anymore.
But see,
everything.
I understand you're going, but I see that the other way around. If Cena wins, we have a part-time champ. Whoop-de-friggin' do.
Yep.
Because we need another one of those in the company right now.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns, I'm looking at you.
I don't think Cena should get it.
But if Austin Theory wins, that just catapults him into the stratosphere.
Yeah.
You know? Like, Austin Theory being the youngest United States champion, yeah, great, fantastic. He's sort of defending against Bobby Lashley and all these other guys. And it's like, okay, yeah, great, whatever. You beat John Cena. You don't lose anything. You are put on that pedestal, and your reign becomes, oh God, this is actually noteworthy because he just beat John Cena.
Yeah. So I get where Cena's coming from, but yeah, I mean, anyone beating John Cena is kind of a thing, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that the last promo that Theory did was very much about him not being a wannabe John Cena, but having his own identity. And if he wins, he needs to hold on to that individual identity and that uniqueness and make it something. If he carries on like he has been previously, it's going to be a terrible title reign again. But yeah, I think he's worked on himself so much since that first title reign and has become someone that he is his own character now, and I don't hate him.
Do you know why that is though?
Because he's had like help.
Yes and no. It's because Triple H has taken over.
Yeah, and let him do.
As I think we talked on yesterday's show about the Ronda Rousey mentioning about the women's division sucking. She said something like, "How can you go?" Like she was referencing her feud with Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
And she said something along the lines of, "That's what happens when you get 5 minutes to tell a story written by some octogenarians." Mm-hmm. Vince McMahon.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when he did, I mean, do you remember the golden egg lark? I nearly swore that, not gonna lie. Remember that golden egg trash that they did? Where Theory stole the egg because he wanted to take a selfie with it, and then all of a sudden he's Vince McMahon's golden boy? Like,
it didn't make sense. It was that publicity stunt for the film, wasn't it?
Yeah, for one of
they
the
turned it
Rock's
into a
film,
thing.
I
think so. Bit weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, if Theory can continue building his character and having that identity, then winning won't be. And it's
like you said, you don't hate him. Like, I hate him, but in the right way.
Yeah,
because he's a heel. But he's really grown and he's really starting to shine.
Hate him in the right way.
He's coming into his own, and he needs to carry on with that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Definitely. Mm-hmm. I think he's retaining.
Yep. You got Austin Theory to win?
Yeah. If Cena gets it, it's going to be real bad.
I mean,
it might be... You're going with Theory as well.
I'm going with Theory.
If Cena wins, in the moment, there'll be a huge pop. But that's it. Then it's going to be, like you said, part-time champion.
The only problem is, and they referenced this, I think, just after Cena announced he was taking the match, if John Cena wins, he's the person that has won the United States Championship the most in WWE in all history.
And what did WWE love?
Like their record breaking.
Yeah.
But I don't want it. I don't want to see
it. If he gets it, he'd have to lose it real quick.
You'd have to lose it the next night on Raw after
and that
Mania.
Would be so bad.
Yeah. But then at that point, who do you bring in to defeat John Cena? It's like going back years and years and years ago, before Brock Lesnar came back to the company, John Cena come out and he was there and he was like, WrestleMania was great last night, blah, blah, blah. And then Brock Lesnar's music hit. And everyone's like, what the hell is this? And that was almost part of that anything can happen the night after WrestleMania. And that was one of those big moments that kicked the night after Raw after WrestleMania into that stratosphere status, in which why it holds such a high regard. Because Brock Lesnar came out and he just decimated John Cena. And he was like, oh, this is great. So if Cena does win, he has to have someone come back and do his open challenge stick, which he always did, at Monday Night Raw, after WrestleMania. Someone big has to come out and do it and beat him. But who?
Ooh.
That's the problem. Only one person I can think of, and I don't know if he's recovered from his injury yet. Randy Orton. Imagine the pop if Randy Orton turns up.
That would be pretty cool. But yeah, we don't want John Cena to win.
No.
Oh my God.
I mean, John Cena and Randy Orton do have a history as well.
Yeah. That's very true.
They bounced the title back and forth to each other like 6 months in a row. That's why John Cena's a 16-time world champ. Like 3 times in 6 months. Like, come on, seriously.
Flip-flopping. That's the other thing WWE love.
They love their flip-flops. It's like Sasha Banks and Charlotte Flair. That's the only reason she's that. Sasha Banks would win it on a pay-per-view, because they were pay-per-views back then. And then Monday Night Raw would come along 2 weeks later and Charlotte Flair would win it back. Then the pay-per-view, Sasha Banks would win it back. Then it was Charlotte Flair 2 weeks in a row. It's like, come on, seriously? Get lost.
Lame.
Okay, and now we're on to our final match of the title matches at WrestleMania. Leanne, it's time for the main event.
Yay!
Roman Reigns, the head of the table, defends his undisputed WWE Universal Heavyweight Championship against the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. What do you think of this match, Leanne? Is it going to be as good as people are making out?
No.
Straight out the gate, no. I mean, at least take 2 seconds to think about it.
I don't think it will be as good as the hype, the build-up.
No.
There's been so much of it. Cody Rhodes is amazing.
I mean, you say there's been so much build-up. Let's put this properly into perspective, there's been so much build-up on one half of the participants.
Yeah.
Because Roman Reigns barely shows up to work.
It's very true. Yeah. But, like, Cody's had loads of promos and stuff.
Yeah. He's had some good matches with people.
Yeah. He's a great wrestler, for sure. Roman Reigns is also a great wrestler and is so good at near falls. That's a skill.
The one thing that's bugging me a lot about this is Cody Rhodes. The way that he came back at Mania last year, great. Had a match with Seth, great. Had a match with Seth with Backlash, great. Had another match at Hell in a Cell where he was injured and he shouldn't have been in that match.
Yeah.
And then he was away until Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
So then we've had literally a 2-month build-up where they're trying to push Cody Rhodes into the stratosphere.
Yeah.
And it just feels a bit forced.
And he's been involved in other storylines, like we were saying with Kevin Owens.
That kind of ties in with the bloodline, though.
Kind of works, but sort of shoehorning as well a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. But I just, I don't know. I just don't feel like they've elevated him right. If this, they probably should have waited another year to put that spotlight on Cody to literally elevate him to that point.
Yeah.
Because he's come back, his first return match for the Royal Rumble, and he wins it for number 30.
Yeah.
Right, okay, well, great. Who didn't see that one coming? Because we predicted it correct. And then he has all these other little matches against other people. Like the first 3 weeks after the Royal Rumble, he didn't have any matches. He starts having matches with people, and they're good matches, and it's okay, great. And then he had ring against Solo Sikoa last night, and he beat Solo Sikoa's undefeated streak. And okay, that was great. It was really good. But I still don't think he's at that level. Roman Reigns has been champ for through 900 and whatever days, 2.5 years, wherever it is. And then Cody Rhodes has been back for 2.5 months.
I think they've even acknowledged this when Cody has said that he may not have been in the company, he may not have been wrestling with WWE for very long in this stretch, but don't discount the stuff that he was doing before. So they're trying to say that part of the build-up is back in AEW and all the other things.
And they did have Roman kind of, I don't know if that was off script. I get the feeling that was off script. Where Roman on, was it SmackDown last week? Might have been the week before, where they're having a face-to-face kind of little conversation thing. And Roman's like, you went and you started your own company and you couldn't get over in your own company. And it's like, oh my God.
I have a feeling Paul Heyman came up with that, though.
Savage. That was savage. The problem is, he's not wrong. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And, wow, that was just brutal. And the funny thing, Cody did acknowledge coming from AEW in an interview, saying that he feels that leaving AEW to come to WWE was a bigger risk than they took to do All In.
Oh, wow. That was a huge risk.
Yeah, exactly. So he thinks that by coming back to WWE, what if the fans turned on him and just rejected him straight off the bat? Luckily it hasn't, because he's this number 2 seller of merch for WWE right now.
Yeah.
Number 1 being Stone Cold Steve Austin is still the number 1 merch seller, baby.
Forever and
Boom.
always.
I think that has a thing to do with all the towns have Montreal 316, Cardiff 316, London 316, New York, whatever. So every city they go to, it's still Stone Cold merch.
Every time.
Yeah,
I don't think this is going to be a bad match.
No.
It's just the hype's a bit higher than probably our expectations should be.
Yeah, I agree.
But good,
Any other thoughts?
Solo will be there.
Yeah, Solo will probably get involved.
Yeah.
But then will Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn turn up? I reckon the USOs will probably be there too.
Yeah.
Unless Roman shoot him up at this point for losing the titles.
Interesting, yeah. Maybe we'll have an USO turning.
Maybe. There was speculation, or rumour rather, that when Roman Reigns does in fact lose this championship, he's going to take an extended leave of absence.
Yeah.
I mean, he's held the title for 29, 30 months, wherever it is, and he's had 15 title matches. Feels like you're not even here now, pal, so just, whatever.
He's doing press and stuff, it's alright.
Is he?
I don't know, probably. Don't the champions always have to do shows and, I don't know, things.
Usually, back in the day, yeah, this is Roman Reigns we're talking about now. Brock Lesnar set the precedent, that's the problem. And that's the only, so the good thing about Cody will be, he is going to be there every single week.
Yeah, this is going to be a fighting champion. Which he will be, because he's going to win.
You predicting Cody?
Yes.
Yeah?
It's time.
Who am I predicting?
Cody.
Cody Rhodes.
It's time.
Cody Rhodes is going to get it. The one thing I am glad of, they started off with all this Dusty Rhodes stuff.
Yeah.
And then Cody literally turned around and said, don't mention Dusty again because I'm sick of being compared to him. And I thought that was a really good turning point. And that's kind of where I was like, ooh, okay. I'm kind of getting a bit more into this now.
Yeah.
Because I don't want Cody going in, I want to be like my father, baby.
No. Be your own man.
You know?
Individuals.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And I think that's going to be the good thing for it. I think that him showing, right, just leave Dusty there.
Yeah.
And just fight me. Don't fight Dusty, fight me. He's not going to come down. He's not going to give the bionic elbow. He's not going to come down and eat some pork and beans, and be the son of a plumber and whatnot. It's Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
And I think that was a very good thing to do. They needed to stop referencing Dusty all the time, and they stopped it. Cody's the one that put the stop to it, and I think that was the right choice.
Yeah.
So we're seeing a total fall of the Bloodline. So Bloodline are doing this in our predictions, and Judgment Day are doing this in our predictions.
I think
so. By that point, does Finn Balor wins over Edge? Does Finn Balor get a title shot against Rhodes first?
Ooh, maybe.
That'd be cool.
Hey,
I'd
in
like to see
the
that.
title matches, have we just predicted everything the same?
We have, yeah. And in the other, if you go back and watch the other predictions, only 2 matches that we predict the same, or 3. 1, 2, 3.
And it almost wouldn't have been, because I was almost going for Bianca against Asuka.
Yeah, almost. Just make sure there's a scribble on that.
Well, interesting.
Okay, so what's your most looked forward to match on the title matches, Leanne?
Usos versus Kevin and Sami.
Yeah, I agree with that. As much as a banger the IC title match will be, I think the Usos versus KO Zania, that's a mouthful to try and get around, is going to be great.
Yeah, definitely.
What about least looking forward to?
Maybe controversial. Theory versus Cena.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I can see it.
All of the others, they have such good points to them. I think Bianca versus Asuka is close, but Asuka, I think, could really drag that up.
Yeah.
Flair versus Ripley could be hit or miss, but again, Ripley could elevate that to where I want it to be.
Yeah. See, I was going to say Bianca and Asuka, but now that you said it that way, I think I have to agree with Thea and Masiri.
Ooh.
What happened there?
Thea and Cena?
Oh, my brain!
I like it.
I'm done.
You're done. All right, shall I take us home?
No, I'm not done.
No, you're not done.
Theory and Cena, yeah.
Theory and Cena.
Yeah, dear
gotcha.
God. Dear God. Okay, so here's another spanner in the works. Out of the entire WrestleMania card, what are you looking forward to the most?
Edge versus Finn Balor.
Absolutely 100%.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes. Those two always bring it hard when they go. And they're both phenomenal talents. I'm an Edge fan. I'm a Finn Balor fan.
Yes.
I think they're both great. And I do think it's time for this feud to end. But I think this is going to be a great capping off point for this feud.
Yeah, they'll go out with a bang. Probably literally.
Yeah. No, an Edge, yeah. Least looking forward to match for the entire event.
Brock versus Omos.
Agreed.
Yes.
Agreed.
The title matches are so hard to choose between that it had to be that one.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it is just going to be the dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, any other thoughts?
WrestleMania! It's gonna be good. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think last year was a lot more hyped for a certain Stone Cold reason.
Yes.
I am kind of hoping that we'll get some nice surprises.
Yeah.
That could be cool.
I hope so.
I mean, what we used to say, like we talked about yesterday on the predictions video part 1, about the Miz hosting and having a co-host. What if he comes out and he's like, I don't need no co-host, blah blah blah, and then glass shatters. Out comes Stone Cold Steve Austin, because he's been very, very cagey. People have asked him, "Are you going to be involved with WrestleMania this year?" And he's like, "Don't know.
Maybe.
See what happens."
Where's LA Knight gonna turn up? He'll turn up somewhere.
He's in the Battle Royale on SmackDown. He's on the
Wow.
He's on the WrestleMania SmackDown Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale.
I feel like he might try and insert himself somewhere in the actual.
He
event
wanted
as
to have a match with Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
He put it on social media and I want to fight Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania, and it didn't happen.
Lame.
So
That'd have been fun.
I guess there is still a potential to do that.
Yeah.
Like if something kicks off in this Battle Royale.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because they're both in it.
I don't know. It's a shame not to use Bobby Lashley at Mania.
Yeah.
He's had such a run recently. He's been so great.
Yeah,
you know?
Agreed.
Yeah. Any other thoughts?
That's it.
Take us home, Leanne.
Thank you so much for watching. As always, this has been our predictions for WrestleMania, the title matches. We'll be back with our reactions.
Don't forget to check the non-title matches, part 1, if you haven't done so already.
Check them out. We'll be back with our reactions following when we've had a chance to watch Saturday WrestleMania.
Night 1 will be airing on Saturday night in the United States. We'll be watching that Sunday morning, not stupid hours. Then we will get the video up on Sunday. I got you guys. And then Monday is when we'll put our part 2 reactions up.
I got a day off work to watch the Sunday one on
Guaranteed.
Monday. As you do.
Guaranteed. Yeah.
Please like the video if you liked it. Hit that subscribe button and the bell to be notified when we drop new videos so that you don't miss out when we drop our reactions. Leave some comments below. What's your highlight that you're looking forward to in WrestleMania this year? Or your low point. What are you not looking forward to? Any other questions? That sounds good to me. Follow us on socials. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Our link tree is in the description below, so check it out. Come and talk to us. We're nice, usually. We reply to things, so...
When YouTube gives us notification, yeah.
It's been better. Well, I'm being better at checking regularly. Yeah. So, yeah, we're getting there.
Leanne's, we've been better at checking notifications. Comments, whereas YouTube still hasn't been good at things, but yeah, okay, no.
Everything is fine. And on that bombshell, enjoy WrestleMania, and we will see you in our reactions.
Don't forget to snap into a Slim Jim. Oh, yeah.
I've never had a Slim Jim. Bye.
Dig it.